Hey all, and welcome back to the channel. Now, many of you may have noticed that we haven't really been doing much on the trails this year. Well, as you well know, the big guy has had 2 major surgeries, and that has prevented us from getting out off-roading or overlanding. Now, if you watched our Maggie Valley video, you may have seen us absolutely fall in love with an adventure trailer from SylvanSport. Well, shortly after that video, they reached out to us and asked us if we would like to partner with them to show off these really cool trailers.
Of course we said yes. So, what you're gonna see today, this is gonna be our first time hooking this up to the Jeep by ourselves and our first time setting it up by ourselves. And I'm saying I'm gonna be doing nothing because I'm useless. So this will be Kim's first time setting it up. We're gonna time lapse it and let you see everything that we do. Stay tuned. All right, guys, this is gonna be Kim's first time hooking up the trailer to the Jeep. We got wheel chocks under it right now so it can't roll, so she's not gonna lower that a whole lot yet. Until we get those chocks out and see how it's gonna move. Hooking up her safety chains. And this is an articulating hitch, so what's really cool about it is it basically twists and turns and will hit any angle that you really need if you're in an off-road situation. And so you can see where we've put our trailer brake in the bumper. So yeah, once this articulating hitch goes down, this thing will be twisty and turny. We can get it off camber, etc. No big deal at all. So what she's doing now is just cranking that wheel up. And then it's got a pull pin that will let her really snap it up out of the way. And boom. She's gonna flip these over and that's gonna lock that pin in place. You kind of got to put some pressure. Nice. Then she's got a pin with a cotter pin that she will just stick through there and then pin it on the other side. And then she's going to plug in her trailer brakes. And we mounted them there because now it's not going to get caught on anything. And then she's hooking up her second chain. And then we also have a safety here that's connected to the brakes if this thing gets away from us. So she's going to get those wheel chocks out of the way. And we're going to set this bad boy up today, guys, and let you see our very first time setting it up.
Okay, now SylvanSport has several adventure trailers to choose from. However, in this video, we're gonna show you the GOAT. And the GOAT is their Go all-terrain trailer. Now what makes this all-terrain, first of all, we're gonna talk about the bigger, beefier tires. They have those that will help us when we're off-roading and when we're doing more overlanding trails. They also, with this trailer, it gives us 18 inches of ground clearance. So we're gonna have a little bit more space when we're trying to crawl over some obstacles while we're out on the trail. The other thing that it has is the Timberin independent axles, which really makes this off-roading trailer much more capable than standard trailers that you usually have on your campers and RVs.
All right, babe, we're at the front side of the trailer. What are we looking at?
All right, so this is the cargo area of the GOAT. And there is plenty of space for you to store all of your goodies in here. This also contains the tools to help us set this GOAT up. Lots of space in here for you to carry any of the extra stuff that you need while you're en route to the trail.
So we got wheel chocks, rugs, all kinds of stuff.
And we're gonna be using this space a lot today, so we'll be coming back to that. Now, let's come on around. As you can see that this trailer also comes with a spare, so we still have that nice knobby off-roady type spare.
A full-size spare.
The other thing that you will notice are the rails that go across the top of the unit. Now, these rails allow you to haul all sorts of fun toys, such as your bikes, kayaks, canoes, anything of that nature can all be mounted to the rails up at the top.
All right, so we're back here at the back, babe. What are we looking at now?
So now you're gonna see that this trailer is diamond plated it has a diamond plated floor. Now the great thing about that is a couple of things. First of all, if this is a true adventure trailer, so this tent will actually rise up, and once it's up, once it's fully expanded, you're able to put all sorts of toys in here. So you can put dirt bikes, motorcycles, golf carts, anything of that nature that you want to put inside of there to haul along with you on when you're out and about traveling. Now the other really cool thing about this trailer is if you're not out adventuring, you can use this trailer as a utility trailer. Haul gravel, or not gravel maybe, but haul dirt, mulch. You can take your lawnmower to be serviced, but it works as a great utility trailer around the house whenever you're not using it as an adventure trailer.
So yeah, you're not just buying it for adventures.
And then of course, you may have already seen there is a spot for roto packs. Those can be mounted. There are holes already bored into the side so you can mount other types of tools and things of that nature if you wanted to do that.
Nice.
Now that we've shown you a lot about the trailer and the exterior, let's show you how we turn this into a great living quarters. All right, so the first step of setting up the goat is on every corner there are these pins, and these pins just kind of help keep this frame block down. So we're gonna go on all four corners and we're gonna pull these pins. Now the folks over at SylvanSport, they taught us a neat little trick because you want to keep up with these pins. They're kind of important. So what we are doing is we are actually going to hang these pins right here on this hook.
I didn't see that trick.
Did you miss that trick?
I guess I did.
Because here's the thing, the good thing is that you won't forget them, because when you go to put this wheel down, you're like, oh crap, I forgot about those pins.
Yeah,
so you don't
nice.
forget it. All right. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna look for this bar right here. Now this bar is used to set up the stabilizing jack. And there's a stabilizing jack on all four corners of the trailer. Now they said these are not necessarily balancing or
they're not leveling.
Leveling jacks. They are just
They're
to
just
make the trailer more stable.
She's just gonna turn till it gets a little tight.
And we're gonna do that on all four corners. Now we want to just give it a little bit of a shake. If it shakes too much from side to side.
I think it's stable.
So I think we're good. So the next thing that we're gonna do is they have this little crank here. And what this crank will do, this is actually going to raise the frame straight up, all right?
There we go. And then I'll back up so you can see it rise. That is so cool. Yeah, that is so cool. It's going so high, I have to keep backing up. Her hair is blowing around like Madonna in a video. All right. I think you're good, babe. It's pretty high. What are you looking for?
So what we're looking for is there's 3 levels of these rods. And basically here, where you hit those ridges,
Gotcha.
is when you're as high as you need to be.
Okay.
All right, so they have these sides Velcroed together.
To keep them from moving during travel. All right, you said you got another one?
Now, the other little trick that the guys at Sylvan taught me, so that you don't lose these or you have to go searching for them, is just to wrap them around the trailer hitch.
Super smart. It's almost like those guys at Sylvan do this all day, every day, and know what they're talking about.
Right? So that way, when you go to break down, it's where it needs to be.
All right.
So you know, I was just talking about this being a
Utility trailer?
A utility trailer, or even an adventure trailer to hold your toys. Now, the way that this works is that these panels will actually stand straight up and then can fit right here on these knobs. You'll see as I
So
go
that'll
to
become the sidewalls.
raise these, exactly.
Just raises it and she can set it straight down just like that.
And then it becomes the sidewall. I haven't put it all the way down. And then you can roll the tent back down
To be the
higher
ceiling.
you need it. Now the cool thing is that this is not a solid panel. So what happens if you're riding down the highway?
Crosswinds.
So it's going to help prevent you from sliding or from throwing that trailer from all different directions.
The
So
wind's
that's
just
really
going to
cool.
go right through.
All right. So I'm going to put this.
You got to
back
get your.
down for a hot second.
You got to get some rods,
Like
don't you?
Cold.
It's just so cool. Like all of the. I know I keep saying it every time we talk about this thing, but all of the different design nuances they threw in for everyday life.
For sure.
Because how many people buy a camper and use it 4 times a year? Whereas you buy something like this, you can use it every time you go to Lowe's or have your lawnmower service or anything like that.
Now these poles, they have what they call a key. And basically you stick that key into the holes and you turn it, and that's what locks these poles in. And this is going to be the start of your wall.
Of your bed.
Of your bed, excuse me. Well, the wall is coming down to make a bed. A bed or your seat. So the way this happens, you just come over, you basically do a bicep curl with it.
And man, you got some biceps.
And then you come down to these poles. And then these poles, same thing. There's a key there and it fits through there.
Fits right
and you
in.
twist and there it's locked in.
Boom.
Same thing on the other side. Find that key and twist.
Woman, I'm proud of you. We didn't even watch anything. You just remembered.
And there we go. That's locked in. Now we'll go to the other side. Same thing. Keys in the holes and twist.
And so guys, I'll be honest, the folks at Sylvan have it down to a science, and they can set this trailer up in 7 minutes. Now, we're not gonna do that today because we're filming and talking and showing you all the nuances, but,
We're still learning.
well, this is the first time you've done it, but what I was gonna say is, hell, we're still just at 8 minutes in.
And we've even slowed down to show them a lot of stuff. And twist.
And twist.
There you go.
Boom.
And this
Those
is
are
going
some
to be our
beds.
step.
That's how we get in.
Now I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. This is great. So this is, if you get a waterproof or a dustproof, like a Rubbermaid tote. This fits perfectly in the bed of this trailer for us to haul. And so we'll put bedding, anything else that we don't want to get wet, just anything that we don't want floating around in the back of the Jeep, we can now pop them into these totes and then just set them out beside
And utilize the utility trailer.
the Jeep.
You so strong.
All right. Ta-da!
So, do you see that, guys? I mean, think of what you could put in there. Like, it's just awesome.
Now
All right.
this step is not necessary. However, I'm going to add this little bit of a step because I already know that I'm very short and I cannot reach the top of that handle. So the next step, let me show you this. The next step is to, oh, I can reach it. Okay,
Oh,
so I can reach it. So the next step is going to be pulling
Hold on,
down.
let me get further back so I can show all this.
Pulling down the tent itself.
Okay.
So all I'll do is grab this handle and just pull.
Boom.
And you're just going to take and push that panel to the back of the trailer.
Okay. I lost her.
Just like that. So we just pushed it straight to the back of the trailer.
Yep.
So that's going to be our back wall. Now you don't want that wall flopping around anywhere.
Nobody wants a floppy wall.
So what we're going to do is we're going to let a little bit of tension down.
Just so that it sits against the floor.
Yeah, just so it sits there. Exactly.
Gotcha.
Because if there's wind blowing, things like that, you don't want it flapping around. So that's just going to make it nice and tight.
For sure.
The next part, this is going to be the walls. And like we said, this is actually going to make a bed. And we're going to show you the inside of that. I'm supposed to be doing
Oh,
this.
I was going to help since I don't have to lift any weight. Guys, don't ever become useless. It is not fun.
All right, so what happens, they have these little half moons that make kind of the wall. And you're going to hook these little loops into the edges there. And then they have these hooks that now hook down into these panels, just like so.
Gotcha. So that's easy.
Same thing on this one. We're going to hook and then pull down and hook the panel. Now we're going to do it on the same side, on the opposite side rather. Hook, hole in there. Hook. And pull it here. Now for the front, there are these little tightening straps. And you want to go ahead and loosen them up because then they will go through this hole here
Gotcha.
and wrap around this tail light, and then you tighten it nice and tight and
Nice.
then lock it down, and that holds that corner. Same thing on the other side.
Guys, I do want to leave out one step that we left out because we're not camping right now in this trailer. There is a pad that you put down over the diamond plate. And that's just to protect the bottom of the tent from that metal diamond plate. And during the winter, it'll also give you a little bit of insulation.
So I completely forgot to do this. I meant to, but I forgot. So what happens is this, it's real nice and cushioned, and it will go on the diamond plate underneath the tent. And what that's going to do, like you said, it's going to protect the tent so that you have more longevity out of the tent. And then it's also going to help with the elements. Not so much in the summer, that's not a big deal, but definitely in the winter if you're
Keeping the
winter
cold
camping. Just, you know, so you're not jumping out with cold feet. So then now these last hooks, they go under the edge here. There's just a little lip, and you just hook it right in there. Now, a couple more steps. Don't get too excited showing them all the cool stuff in here. We got another step.
Is it pole time?
It's pole time. So now we need to give stability to the walls and also to the door.
Would you like to mention the two colors of rods that you have there?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm kidding. So the black rods, there's a black rod and there's a gold rod. And the black rods are for the walls, and the gold rod is thicker and it goes for the door. So these are going to get fished.
Just gonna fish them through the side. And I may help her because if you've ever threaded tent poles, you know they always get caught up on the fabric. Okay, see, she tells me to help. And then old strong, independent woman comes out. She don't need nobody.
I do need my husband, but not right this second. Perfect.
All
Okay,
right.
so the pole is going to get laced into this grommet, and then this Velcro goes around it to protect you from jabbing yourself. And you want to put it in to the one in the front first because the one in the back is adjustable. So we want to
You can really cinch it up in the back.
And then we'll push that up.
Look
That
at
nice
that.
and straight. And then if you notice the one here in the back, you just stick that right in the hole there. And then you can pull
So now she can really cinch down on it.
and makes that wall nice
Nice and tight.
and tight where it should be.
And it is, look at that.
That's
It's so beautiful. So yeah, you're literally doing this all by yourself, babe.
Well, we'll see how how the interior goes. There's a part inside that I may really struggle with.
Ah, the life of an Oompa Loompa.
So we'll
It
just
can
have
be
to see.
tough.
We will just have to see. The reason I wanted to try to do it myself is so that we can show on
Yep,
camera
that it's easy enough.
that is it easy enough to put together by yourself, or do you have to have a second person?
If you're 4 foot tall even.
Yeah. Well, no, some of it's 4 foot tall. They don't need that's tall.
Oh, I thought that's what you were.
No. I mean, I at least hit 5 foot, man.
Yeah, I mean, overall, there's just nothing complicated about it. Nice.
Set up nice and tight. The front door, once we get these poles in, you're going to see it gives you just a little bit of an awning, so you could still potentially keep your door open when it's raining,
Mm-hmm.
and that sort of thing without getting wet. Now, from what I understand, and Jeremy, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that the shape of the windows, because of the way that they extend out slightly,
Yep, and because the ridge,
they designed those so that you can still keep your windows open even in the rain.
even in the rain.
Yeah. So, you know, if you think about tents in general, and while this may just seem like, oh my gosh, it's like a pop-up trailer, this is in fact a tent.
Yep.
You know, if you think about your tent, how often, you know, do you end up wet in some way, shape, or form when it's raining?
So, and that's another thing I'll say, guys. So that's something, this trailer is very overbuilt. They did it that way on purpose. Everything that they build, the customers say they stay on the road 20 years plus. So with this being a tent, a lot of people will say, well, how long is the tent gonna last? Well, the average lifespan of these tents, depending on the altitude that you're staying at, is 5 to 7 years. And if you ever did have to replace the tent, do you know how much it cost? $700 or $800.
$800
$800 to replace the tent. So you can have this thing doing work for decades.
Yeah, and that's just it. They said that if you used it every week for 5 to 7 years, or every week, like in Colorado or Utah climates, that's when it's going to wear out in like 5 to 7 years. But if you're weekend warriors like us, and maybe once or twice a month, it may last you longer. If you take care of it, you let it dry. Just like any other tent, you let it dry out when you come home. Don't let it mildew, things of that nature.
Look how cool. Let me get back and show that awning.
Yeah. Let me see. Give you some depth.
Gorgeous.
All right, so now I'm going to take you inside and show you what the interior can do. You've already seen the step to get up in here, and it's very stable. Now, if you also notice, as we go inside, there are handles on both sides of the door. So as you're climbing in and out of this trailer, then you have something to hold on to. Step up.
I'm just angry that you didn't do the stewardess. Look at your handles here and here.
Handles to the left and to the right.
All right.
So move forward.
Okay.
All right, so from here, look at the space that we have. Now, first of all, I am a shorty, so I get it. But this, what rooftop tent or what enclosed tent that you put on a trailer or on your vehicle do you know of that you have 6 feet 5 inches?
Take this phone, babe. I will step in. Ready?
Ready. Now, Jeremy is 6'1", and he still has plenty of space for his head. So he's going to be able to stand up here and get dressed and not have any issues whatsoever.
Well, I can't put my shoes and socks on by myself. Does that count?
No, that doesn't count. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to show you, of course, are these 2 side benches. Now, right now, there's nothing there but the frame, so you clearly can't sit down on that. So those are going to be your bench seats. It's also the space that you will utilize if you're sleeping double. So there's 2 sleeping spaces there. So the bench seat has these panels, and all we do is take these panels out. Turn it upside down. And they nest right inside the frame. And then they have these
Pockets
that the panels slide into
to keep them from moving.
to keep them from shifting around. And then once you place it in there, you can feel it nest in there perfectly. So now we have the perfect
You got a
place
bench
to sit
and a bed.
hang out. And even a bed. And it's about, well, it's smaller than a twin size bed. But
So just so you know, the CEO is 6'5", and he still had 2 or 3 inches down here.
yes,
So you could be like 6'7" and lay in this thing.
lay in there comfortably, absolutely. All right, and because there's several things that we want to show you with this interior, we're going to go ahead and put this panel down as well.
And that's cool. You also have this little pocket that you can stuff your window in. They thought of everything.
And then just press that in. So now that nests. And yes, these windows, while we're talking about windows, so a couple of things that these windows give you the option for. So first of all, you have your screen. The next piece that you have, of course, is your window to block out weather and to help stay warmer, maybe block out maybe sideways rain or something like that if you need to, and it's nice and clear. Or you have just your
Privacy.
shade. Now that the way the windows are built, if you just wanted to let a little bit of air in, you could just zip it up halfway. And let's say that you wanted a little bit of privacy, but you still wanted to keep the airflow going,
Yep.
then you can just zip it like so.
And guys, while she's
Now-
talking about airflow, I will point out down there, you can see those holes. So airflow comes in both sides, and you can also cover that up if you don't want it
Now,
with those zips.
well, something to note is that this is the all-terrain trailer, which means that we have those panels on the side of the trailer. They make what's called a Go trailer, and that Go trailer, these panels are open, just like the sides are. And the advantage of that with this tent is that now this side panel is completely open and you get much more airflow that way. The other cool thing is that this, you notice that this is mesh. This is mesh because there is space that flows underneath the cover of the tent.
Like the soffits on your house.
And so as air rises, there's space up there for the hot air to now flush out as the cool air is coming in.
Yep.
So I am going to go ahead and open these windows back up while we're working in here
Because
because
it is warm.
it's like 1,000,000 degrees outside right now. And I'm starting to glow.
Perspirate. You're so cute. I'm going to call it glimmer. You're starting to glimmer.
Glimmer. Now you can tuck them in that pocket, or there are the little tabs that you can
Tie them up.
tie them up as well. The next piece that is going to be a bit challenging for me, I am afraid. So we are going to bring this screen down.
She's doing it.
Now, you can sleep like this, and we're gonna put a table down, all right? So you have a table here in the middle. And then the next option will be to turn this into a king-and-a-half size bed. All right, so we're gonna show you both of that.
All right, guys. So she told you there's a table. Now she's going to work on getting it down. Maybe.
Then maybe. This is the part that's a little bit tall for me now, and I do have a step stool, and I meant to bring that. So there is a little hook.
Right there. Right there. You got it.
And I have to push this.
Up and then turn. Here, I'm going to do it.
All right, so I've decided to let the tall guy do it.
So I got the stuff down for her with my tallness.
All right, so the next thing is another one of those slip tabs. You slip that off. We're gonna take one of the panels off.
And they're not super heavy.
No, they're very light.
Awkward.
We're gonna put that back. And so now that we have taken the tabletop off, we'll zip this roof back in. And the table gets held in with a ratchet strap. There's a hook here.
I'm gonna come help.
Got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, she's got it. And boom.
Ta-da.
Now
Now
we got a
have
kitchen
this
table.
Really cool.
What is that?
This really cool bag that just hooks up here for you. It's called the SylvanSport Mr. Tow-It-All.
Stow-It-All.
Sorry. And it just hooks here. So now you have a place to put phones, batteries, clothes,
Drones.
just
everything.
whatever you want to put in it while you're
That
hanging
is
out,
super cool.
doing your thing.
And so now I'm gonna
Now
sit.
there's lots of space here
Yeah.
in the Mr. Stow-It-All.
Yep.
Bottles can go here, little hooks, just a little bit of everything.
This is so cool. We have never camped with a kitchen table before.
No. Well, and what's
So-
really cool is at first you don't realize how much space is going to be in here, and then you get the table in, and once you get the table and you're like, well, wait a minute, this is a pretty big bed. You have two fairly good-sized beds, depending on how well you sleep,
Yeah.
and then you still have a table to hang out on and do your stuff on, so it's pretty cool.
So the sleep systems that SylvanSport sells, they actually fit these sections perfectly.
Well, we're going to show that to you a little bit later. All right, so are we ready to turn this into a king-size bed?
Sure.
We've shown you how to make 2 beds in this tent. Now we're going to show you how to turn this into a king and a half size bed. And this, I have to admit, is pretty freaking awesome.
All right. You want me to get it?
Yep. Behind the shorty. So he has to flip it. All right.
All right.
So yeah, that's pretty much, it looks like going to be the only nuance for me being able to do it all on my own.
Just got to bring your step stool.
I just have to have a step stool because I can't reach.
And for reference, she's actually not 4 foot tall. She is 5'3". So,
All right, so this goes right here on that lip.
gotcha. And you push it all the way back.
And then the other panel goes right in here beside it, just like so. And now we have a king and a half. Air
And
mattresses, sheets, blankets, and then we
Full
have
sleep
about
system.
5 or 6 inches here to be able to put your feet, your shoes, and still be able to get up and down and get dressed, things of that nature.
Yep.
Now the door, since I'm standing here, I didn't show it, but it works the exact same way as the windows do. You have a screen, and then you have an area that you can seal it up completely. So again, just to increase airflow.
Yep.
All right, so I think now we've completely shown you how to set this thing up and how cool it really is on the inside, how much space it has, how to do all the things. We will time lapse for us to break it down, just so you can see us break it down again in reverse if you want to see that. But one last thing that we wanted to show you with this is, like we said, you can turn this into a king and a half. And SylvanSport really has thought of everything when it comes to their adventure trailers. And they have designed a sleep system that is quite remarkable, and we want to show you how that fits inside this coach. All right, guys, so what we're going to show you now is the sleep system. Now, SylvanSport makes a single and a double sleep system, and clearly, since there's two of us, and our plan is to sleep on the king and a half size set up with the mattress, then we got the double sleep system. Now, if you are sleeping singles on each side, you can always get the single sleep system. Now, they have sleeping pads, and the sleeping pads come in a regular size, or more like a small size and a large size. And the best size to get to fill this space is a large size. Now, these pads are pretty phenomenal. They are very similar to a more expensive brand on the market, but I think that the design is by far better than those more expensive brands.
And they have a better valve system, which is important when you're inflating and deflating every time you use it.
All right, so the cool thing is that you have this bag, as large as it is, this is the actual pump. You just capture air and roll it down, and it's gonna pump the mattress up. So it's made as an air mattress, and it also has foam on both the top and the bottom, so it's completely surrounded by foam. Here is the double valve system. And this valve system, they both inflate and deflate. So since we're going to be inflating on one, so we're going to flip this inner circle. And it is self-inflating, but then you can see how it's filling up on its own? So you can already see that it's filling up completely on its own. Or you can stick this pump in.
Did you close that one so it's not letting air out?
It's inflating on that. It's not deflating on that side.
Okay.
I have it turned around. So as you can see, it will fill up on its own, or you can take and capture air in the bag. There's a whole lot of stagnant air out here right now.
There's literally this is the least windy it's ever been. But that's still pretty cool.
There we go. Now we got some air.
Now you got some
And
actual
you just roll
air.
it.
Look at that. Super,
And it's
super
self-inflating, so if you notice, as soon as I unrolled it and I turned it or opened the valve to inflate,
Yep.
it automatically started sucking air from the outside anyway.
And I guess how many pumps you use is up to how you sleep. That may be about it after that one.
So you notice that it has a little bit of a pillow. So it has just a little bit of extra cushion there for a pillow. So you've got this little extra padding here if you need it for a pillow. So I'm gonna go ahead and inflate this other one and watch if you want. Yeah, it immediately starts pulling in air.
Yep, you can see it unrolling itself.
And this is not with me not doing anything. And so I think, I'm not certain about this, but I think that if you just leave it lying long enough, it will completely inflate on its own. Or you can speed the process up by using the bag.
Yeah, super neat. I just love the material that it's made out of. It's so soft. Like, you could sleep on that without having a sheet or anything over it. It's just really, really soft. You know how a mouse pad feels and you always want to rub it?
Yeah.
That's what that bedding feels like, just like a mouse pad.
Yeah. But yeah, it's almost completely inflated without putting any air in it.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll need that air just to tighten it up to be able to hold somebody that's 250 pounds like myself.
For sure.
Yeah, so I mean, just one bag basically, this one's full.
Yeah.
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 Wow. So they are truly self-inflating.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Let's take out this
monster. And that is the SylvanSport double sleep system.
Double sleep system. Now what's really cool is the air mattresses actually slide inside of the sleep system. Instead of you laying on top with your blankets and everything falling all these different directions, it has pockets specifically for these pads. So I'm going to throw this down inside the tent.
Oh, so you're going to show them
So
the
do
pockets.
you see, these are the pockets. So these are the pockets that the match, so this will just get capped over the mattress, and this is where the valves will be, so
Gotcha.
you can get access to those valves if you need to. Same
Well,
thing on the
cool.
bottom, it's gonna go into the bottom. Like a footing.
Now that really is a cool system. And again, the material of it is like the softest down coat you've ever worn. All right.
And you know, you may be right, it may have been smarter to put this in deflated
Yeah.
and then let it inflate and fill this up.
I'm just glad you remembered me saying it.
But hey, we learn, right?
Yeah. You're learning with us, guys. So it is probably better to put this in deflated. Although, my favorite part of this day so far has just now been watching you crawl all over the place trying to get it in. So I'm good with that.
Ugh.
I'm glad it happened.
Usually it's you trying to get it in. Perfect.
Yeah, that's
But then,
so cool.
Again, you have access to the inflate,
ports.
deflate holes, and then I can just let it finish filling up there. Okay.
Yeah, that is such a cool system. Because it's not going to move. Your covers aren't, like you said, your covers aren't going to fall off. You ain't got to worry about, you know, because some of us are bed hogs, cover hogs.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, how many sleep-in, you know, if you go camping with your significant other, how many people have a double sleeping bag?
Right.
Most of the time, you're in there
By yourself,
doing
all
your own
lonely.
thing. And then when it's time for some adult time, you can't very well.
You have to freeze.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just trying to squeeze everybody into one sleeping bag. You can't do it. Or it's challenging, let's put it that way. But now, with this,
We're going to be in there together.
we'll be in there like a little cocoon. So learn from us, guys.
Deflate them,
And
put them
then
in,
put it
then
let
air
it
'em up.
inflate.
and then just flip it over. Oh, that's not bad.
Okay, so now, here's the setup. Now, your mattress is inside, okay?
Yep.
Now, you can unzip this, unzip all the way down to the bottom, and you can peel it back. Also,
Yeah.
in there is a sheet.
That is so cool. And it's fastened
And
if
it's
you want it
fastened.
to be.
So you can be under there, if you'd like, for that space. You also have this space up top. So it's gonna give you, you can tuck your pillow in there, or if you're a cocoon sleeper, you can still kind of tuck your head under this space.
And throw that over you.
Exactly. It also has another optional top blanket
Yep.
or inside blanket, so this can go inside, and it can also snap into the
Where the
snaps,
sheets are.
to again keep you from hogging covers, right?
But again, guys, think about this, and this is serious. We're going to be able to, we're going to be in a sleeping bag, bundled up, but we can unzip that and get as crazy as we need to.
Yep.
Without
Or-
freezing.
Or we don't have to unzip it. We can still be in there.
Yeah.
As easy as we want to be, all snuggled up. Now, another cool feature about this bag that I thought was pretty cool is that if you are a foot kicker, you know, if you like to have your body warm but your feet cool,
Yep.
Instead of losing your bag or losing the cover, there's zippers down here, so you can unzip your corner
I'm a foot hangouter.
and you can let your feet out.
Woo.
So you can
Nice.
stick your feet out, pull them back in if you need to, so that you're getting your feet cooled.
Nice.
Really a cool, just a super,
Yeah.
super
The
cool
sleep
setup.
system is just
Um,
on point.
It's going to be a little warm for us on this first trip, I think.
Yeah, because it's South Carolina.
However, I mean, I think that if we take this top one off, we can cover with the sheet, and then we'll
And
have
the little
that as
green
an
one.
extra if we need to.
Yep.
But yeah, we can just go ahead and kick this one all the way off to the bottom.
Yep.
But this sleep system is just so cool.
Show us how much room you got. Lay down, flop around like a fish.
There's all this space.
I mean, there really is. It is crazy. So you've still got all this space over here to put things.
I mean, my arm is completely extended, and my arm is on the edge of the mattress on the other side.
Yeah.
And I'm not even touching the mattress there.
Nope.
So that's super cool.
It's gonna be awesome.
Plenty of room.
It's gonna be so hard to go back to sleeping in the Jeep.
It's a 20-degree cloud layer sleeping system, oversized and comfy with removable layers.
So is that it, babe? Did we just finish this thing?
It. Yeah,
What?
I think that's it.
All right. So what do you think?
I love it. I love it. It's definitely much easier to put up or to set up than I thought it was going to be. I'll be honest, me personally, I know that doesn't help us if we want to sleep together. I do like having that table there.
Yeah.
Like I said, it sucks. That means we have to sleep separate. But that table leaves us plenty of space, because if we wake up and it's pouring rain,
Yep.
and
100%.
both of us are trying to get ready, then we only have that small space. So that is the downside of putting up the full.
Yeah, what she's talking about is right there. Like I said, you've got here to there.
You can definitely do it.
So,
but if we wake up one morning, it's pouring rain, and we want to hang out in the tent and do all the things, it's just it does limit our space.
and so those mattresses, they fit exactly into each of those as well.
Yeah.
It's almost like they knew what they were doing when they designed this thing.
So yeah, so if we decide that we are going to sleep separate and we're going to keep the table set up, then we can sleep on either side of the tent. So yeah, I like it.